okay, it's time to do fight. It's time to do a battle with the Tinubu administration. He had this interview where he said that, oh, look, the president changed his mind and said all kinds of things. What do you think is the reputation that Rufai came out with after being governor of Kaduna State? I think that there are quite a few things, that he himself needs to be held accountable for, including the fact of how he treated the Christian minority in the state, including the fact of how he, deodorized the idea of a Muslim ticket. He was the one that actually set the thing, and he dared, he dared the Christians and said that we can do it. And they actually did it because they had the numbers, So when you now have somebody like that trying to, in my view, take control of a narrative of a national consensus, I said to him, you have some questions to answer. What do you think, Judy?
You talked about a former governor of Kaduna State. I know several governors of Kaduna State, and I regard several of them highly. Langiwa Omar, for instance. I have huge respect
Me too.
Governor Makarfi. I have tremendous respect for. He pacified Kaduna in a way that many people thought was impossible. Governor Yakowa, late now, broke new ground.
Yeah. Was the first Christian governor, I think.
Exactly. Elected.
Now,
so, there are good examples. Of course, from our generation, of course, we remember Balarabe Musa as well. So Kaduna is not short of examples of tremendous standards in public life and service. I imagine that the governor you're talking about is Nasir El-Rufai.
Oh, yeah. I left out his name.
And
of course, yeah.
He's not a particularly nice specimen to discuss. But given the way that you frame the question, what do I think is the reputation that he left with? I will answer you directly. Most Nigerians would ask him to account for Daddy Yatta. Daddy Yatta is a major critic of El-Rufai who has been missing for about 6 years. He's unaccounted for. And El-Rufai's children went on social media to imply that they knew what happened to him on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that when he was moving his mandibles, he didn't know something was going to happen. Who says that for a young person, in respect of a young person with children and a family who has gone missing and cannot be accounted for? What kind of person who suckled on motherly lactation says that? Who has been brought up properly and whose father and mother are still alive and the parents say nothing? Yes, I am not talking here of somebody like the Agwa Adara, yes, who went for a meeting with the governor, ended up abducted and never returned. He was found dead.
That's that besides Daddy Yatta?
Yes, Agwam Adara.
Okay.
He went to see the governor. He never returned alive.
And this is documented?
Ask the people of Kajuru. Now, all of the massacres, now it's very interesting. Do you see, because I have been counting, it became quite evident that between the regime, the administration of El-Rufai and Obasani, something was wrong. There were no longer mass killings in Kaduna. So I started counting. And the gradient the diminution in terms of mass killings in Kaduna, in southern Kaduna in particular, is extraordinary. How is that so? It's not because our soldiers have kind of improved or we have more numbers or anything. How does a governor inflame a society so much that all you can do is count the killed and the missing?
Wow.
And the decapitated?
Wow.
That is the question. And all of this thing, and so he wakes up today and he's comparing himself with Obieze Kwesele. And the last time I was with you, I told you how he plotted to have me in jail.
Yeah.
And I have so many other people. My lawyer had to go to court court, Doria Balasin had to go to court to get an expedited order to preserve her freedom. While she was working on my case, because El-Rufai wanted the backsides of both myself and my lawyer. And my lawyer was representing Audu Mekori, whom El-Rufai abducted from Lagos, took to Kaduna, and Audu nearly died. Audu got exiled as a result of that. Stephen Kefas, he abducted from Port Harcourt. And Stephen was kept in detention in Kaduna for over 6 months. Stephen nearly died.
Rufai did all of this.
I am naming names because I worked on all of these cases, quite apart from my own, which is still.
Hello, my people. Now welcome back to Niger Pigeon. Payback day has finally come. El-Rufai now. El-Rufai now. People don't talk about and say, okay, even though he come out for 2027 election, waiting some people they talk now. Though we know say okay, normally Tinubu no go fit roll us for second term or our prayer with that, but this man will just talk finish now. He say okay, instead for him to vote for El-Rufai, after he don't come like for 2027 election, but because El-Rufai is planning to come for 2027 election now, the man say that okay, instead when you go vote for El-Rufai, he rather carry Tinubu come for third term. Although normally you know say third term, no third term for all this thing, but him say he rather carry Tinubu back for third term instead for him to vote for El-Rufai in 2021 or 2031 that El-Rufai is trying to come. You know say normally El-Rufai now, why he run go SDP now, be okay, he run go SDP so that he go fit get chance to contest for a presidential election. Now when he run go, and now he's planning to come for 2031, either 2021 or 2027. That is what he's planning to do. So people now when they come out now, they criticize him. You know, say normally this El-Rufai that you guys are seeing, this man came out the other day when we were campaigning for Peter Obi during the 2023 presidential election. When we were campaigning, this man carried himself, he criticized. He was the one who, like, he was the first politician that criticized Obi before the 2023 election. You all knows. But the same El-Rufai now is planning to come for presidential candidate. And I understand. So many Nigerians now they have ganged up against him that okay, instead for them to just carry El-Rufai, instead for them to cast their vote for El-Rufai, they rather bring Tinubu back to government. Now understand. So this thing will be said they talk. Now no say now waiting. You know say even God must say okay, make you know they like hit your neighbor. Stop hitting your neighbor. We see Bible talk and Quran talk now in they happen now. You know say normally that time we be saying they talk about Peter Obi. All these things, he know even like all these things. You know, no say okay, it go happen. You know even no say we go even get plan of coming for any 2031 election. Now understand, but now as we speak now, El-Rufai is trying to come for either 2027, 2031. So now Nigeria, you know, don't promise and say okay, in better for him, making did and making wasting money come, because as in they wasting money they come in money, they go loop and go just use the money and nothing go happen. So now we see that they talk. So me, I go play with him talk about it. I will be that time for una make una see him, because okay, with the like drop evidence for here, make una see him. After you don't see what him talk about Peter Obi, I go like play with him Nigerians to talk about them for una make una see him too. Because what thing this man don't do for inside this country, we never know. Although sometimes he go come criticize politicians when he knows say okay, him man is a bad politician. They criticize them. So as they come, make I play the same way we saying talk about Peter Obi before the 2023 election for una make una see him first. After that one, I go play another video for una. We say youth. This person where una they see for my screen. Every saying they talk about them. This person, Usini. This El-Rufai Usini, talk about and say okay, El-Rufai no go fit do anything for inside this country. So I beg you, obviously they hear me now. Me, I go like make you calm down, watch this video to the end, make you hear what people talk, and also me, I go like make you drop your own opinion for comment section too. And also if not today be the first time we say they come across Niger Pigeon channel, I beg make you like our video, make you share, and also make you subscribe to our channel so that anytime we say we drop any Ogbonge update for this channel, now you go be the first person we say they're going to notify. Thank you.
How can Peter Obi win any election? Peter Obi is polling 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, 5% in Kano. That's why the votes are. All states are not equal. The fact that you are doing 70% in Anambra State does not mean somebody doing 10% in Kano is not better than you. The number of votes in Anambra is the size of one local government in Kaduna State. So all states are not equal. If you poll states and you make them equal, yes, Peter Obi will sweep the southeastern states. He will do well in South-South. Where else?
To court over the Naira policy. Is it not Nasir El-Rufai that casted, many aspersions against Peter Obi? Today, Nasir El-Rufai's son is now saying, Peter Obi is not such a bad person. Now, everybody's gravitating towards the SDP. Is this not the same Nasir El-Rufai that said at some point he was never going to leave the APC? So he's gone through how many parties now? From the PDP to CPC to APC, now SDP. Anyway, he's sworn that he's never going to go back to the PDP, but the PDP started all of this for him. But in all of those things, one thing is consistent. There's a P in all of those parties. You do the math and tell me what the P is, watching me this morning. I don't take politicians seriously. I'm happy that President Muhammadu Buhari has come to clarify what he said, that yes, he might have given him his blessings as he claimed, but he's going to support his own political party till the end. Secondly, all of this is somebody that feels hurt. He feels he worked for President Tinubu and President Tinubu didn't pay him back. So when they say, does he feel betrayed? He said, no, he feels betrayed. Because if he doesn't feel betrayed, he will stop crying about this ministerial thing. El-Rufai has been crying about this ministerial thing.
All right.
He's been wailing. He's been crying. He's been jackburrowing about this ministerial thing. So it's time for him to cease the cry.
All right.
And that's why, as part of the crying and the wailing and the jackburrowing, he's saying he knows people that pay for ministerial position. They got to be ministers. You did not get to be ministers.
You didn't get to be
Go and face your political struggle with the SDP.